So now we're finally going to review all the Superman movies and lead up to James Gunn's new Superman movie in July. And you might be thinking, all right, you're going to finally talk about the Christopher Reeve movies. You're going to do Superman Returns, Man of Steel, Batman and Superman. You're right. I am going to talk about those. But I'm not going to start there. I'm going to start where it started in the movies, which is Superman versus the Mole Man, or Superman and the Mole Man. I thought it was Superman versus the Mole Man, but apparently it's Superman and the Mole Man, which is kind of goofy. It should be Superman versus the Mole Man. Sounds better, but whatever. Um, yeah, give me a sec. My dogs are going off. All right, I'm back. This movie is the best of movie to start with, just because what I like to do for videos when it comes to these big franchises. I do like to talk weird, obscure pieces of media and talk about the big stuff. So this is the one obscure piece of media I wanted to talk about, which is Superman vs. the Mole Man. And Superman vs. the Mole Man was the first Superman piece of media to star George Reeve. Now, if you don't know George Reeve, he was Superman in the 50s in the television show, I think it's My Adventures, or not My Adventures with Superman, Adventures of Superman. I forget the exact title, but he is very famous. And I think it was a made up rumor. I don't know if this is actually true that Christopher Reeve and him were related. I think that was a made up press stunt that ended up kind of not being true or something like that. I read something like that, but he's a very famous version of Superman for a few reasons. And it's kind of weird because that character, he became synonymous with the character for a lot of people for a long time. And then, for a while he was very popular. But now, even with all that, people forget that he started with this movie in Superman and the Mole Man. And it is very 1940s. It is very goofy, hokey with a lot of its effects. But Superman in the 40s was very different from what we know now. Obviously, because of budget limitations and things like that. But, I mean beyond that. I mean just what was in the comic books, what was in the media, like movies, TV shows. He didn't have all the powers he does now. A lot of the characters and situations that you're fighting are not some grand evil threat, the supervillain, whatever it is. It's usually something sillier. And with this movie, it is a goofier, sillier thing of we're gonna not goofier, sillier. It's more realistic. The threats in this movie. Yeah, there's little mole people from underground, but the mole people are a metaphor for something different, which is that, people are different, how we treat them, certain things. All that's a metaphor within this movie. It's kind of an interesting movie. Kind of look at time capsule what Superman was originally like. I think it's great for Superman fans to check out if you're kind of ever curious what that original incarnation of Superman was like. Does it always hold up? Not really. The Mole Men are incredibly goofy, but there's a lot of interesting stuff as a Superman fan to kind of watch with this movie. This movie also is not available to buy on Blu-ray or DVD. It was available in the My Adventures with the Adventures of Superman DVDs, complete first season, but that DVD has since long been out of print and goes for a little bit online. Not a lot, but a little bit. And that was a special feature on that. You can rent it on digital platforms. Like, I bought it off Amazon Prime for like $10 just so I could do this review. It's only an hour to 58 minutes, so take that with what you will. I recommend checking it out if you are a Superman fan who likes to kind of have a grander understanding of the character. Would not recommend it just to anybody, though. It is very goofy and hokey.